Over the past year, one of the biggest plot holes in Star Wars is that a lot of fans ask, how did Ahsoka meet Luke Skywalker in the Book of Boba Fett? I mean, it's a valid question. Ahsoka went from saying that she couldn't train Grogu, and that's the last we saw of her until she showed up to Luke's training academy. The thing is, we have no backstory on how she got there or what happened between these events. What I'm gonna explain is how the Ahsoka series will finally answer this question. Now first, let's break down the situation. We do know that Ahsoka did not want to train Grogu, basically because she feels that Grogu's attachment is too close to Mando, and she's seen this happen before in her former master Anakin. She also mentions this would leave Grogu extremely vulnerable to his fears and his anger. But now with the Ahsoka series out, we learn of a huge new timeline event that happened, and that was Ahsoka tried training Sabine, but it ultimately failed. Now this is something we still haven't seen or know much about yet, but all we do know as fans right now is that we know it didn't work out. I feel like we'll see some more insight into what happened and also maybe some flashbacks, I'm assuming, but anyways, back to Grogu. After she told Mando this, what did she do next? I mean, how does she meet Luke Skywalker randomly out of nowhere? This is what I think. There is one person that is the reason for all of this, the key to everything, Jacen Syndulla, the son of Hera Syndulla and Kanan Jarrus. Now, for those that don't know, Kanan was a significant other to Hera and was a Force-sensitive Jedi Knight throughout Star Wars Rebels. Sadly, he passed away by trying to save the Rebels crew from the Empire in a deadly explosion, but his legacy still lives with his son, Jacen Syndulla. Now, we don't see Jacen in episodes 1 and 2 yet of Ahsoka, but we saw him at the end of Rebels. He's even in the LEGO promotions for the new Ahsoka show and everything. I mean, it's very unusual considering that we're 2 episodes in and we still haven't seen Hera's son yet. I mean, unless Hera is sending her kid to some summer camp to go to the Lothcat Zoo all day, it's pretty unusual, so where is he? Well, this is where Ahsoka and Luke tie in. I think the reason Ahsoka did seek Luke out was because of Jacen Syndulla. She noticed his abilities throughout the Force grow more and more and that he needed training. And from Ahsoka's point of view, she probably didn't want to change Jacen because of what happened with Sabine. Again, that's still something we haven't found out yet, but I'm assuming that threw her off to want to take another Padawan under her wing. So instead, she allows Luke to train Jacen. I do believe this theory would make sense, just considering that Dave Filoni does a great job of filling out plot holes at one point or another. But this is where it gets a little crazy. Do you recognize this in one of the recent Ahsoka trailers? This trailer released shortly before the show launched, and I want you to look closely. That person in the passenger seat is way too small to be Sabine or Huyang. I do believe this is Jacen Syndulla, considering what Disney has done in the past. I mean, remember The Mandalorian? Well, Grogu wasn't seen in any of the promotions or any of the trailers. He was a big surprise in the first episode. Kenobi did the same thing as well with young Leia, so I have no doubt this is what they're doing with Jacen here, and I think we'll see him by episodes 3 or 4. I think after some training, Luke comes to the conclusion that Jacen might also deal with the same conflict and emotional ties that Grogu did. You have to understand, these Jedi students under Luke are not taught in the traditional Jedi way as they did in the Jedi Order back then. I mean, at that time, there was a reason why they didn't usually accept students at a certain age, and it's why they were so reluctant on accepting Anakin. It was the rules of the Order, because the older they got, the more attachments they would form. That's why Grogu couldn't be trained. He had already lived for 50 years, and while the intentions of Luke are great, I think it's maybe why he finds it difficult to train certain students. Realizing this, he returns Jacen back to Hera, and it would make perfect sense to why we did not see Jacen in the first 2 episodes. Not only this, but if they wanted a way to bring in Luke for the Ahsoka series, well, this is the perfect way to do so in my opinion. The world of opportunity with this is endless, and I really believe in this theory. But at the end of the day, this is really what makes Star Wars so much fun. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with this theory, or do you think Ahsoka and Luke met in another way? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.